Hi, welcome to Easy Learnings. Thank you for trusting us. And what we provide with the Easy Learnings is we'll be providing you a super AI notebook for all your subjects. So this is specifically designed for engineering and all the related branches. So with the help of Easy Learnings, we'll be providing you a AI notebook. So what you'll be having in this AI notebook, okay? You'll be having some very easily understandable podcast for all the questions. Now, for example, in your subject, if you're having some 20 to 25 questions, we'll be creating a podcast which is in Telugu language, and the podcast will help you to understand the question and the concept very easily. So this will be very useful when you are preparing for your semester exam, or for example, when you're preparing for your midterm exam. This podcast will be very useful for you. Along with the podcast, we'll be giving you the mind maps. I will also show you in the same video how a mind map will be and how it will be very useful for you for the quick revision of the concepts, all those things. So, and along with this mind maps, we'll be also providing you a quiz to test your knowledge by yourself. So, now for example, if you are preparing for one particular question, once the question was completed, you can test your knowledge whether your understanding is correct, or how you can work. Is there any wrong in your understanding? In that way, you can test your knowledge. You can do it with a quiz. And most importantly, you'll be having a chat box for every question. Now for example, if you are in one subject called as, let's say, Python. Okay, in that you are trying to learn about the class and object. So you can ask anything about that. And the most advantage of using our notebook is this notebook is prepared completely for the JNTUK syllabus and from the reference textbooks only. So you will not go anything outside. You can get everything directly from here. And moreover, by preparing the reference subject, reference textbook, you'll be having a very good chance to score a better marks during your semester exam. Okay. Now let's say how we can use our AI notebook and how our AI notebook will be there. Now, if you are taking a subscription of our Easy Learnings, you will be receiving a mail something like this. Now, let's take an example of a subject in thermal engineering, where the students will be having 3-1. So, like this, it is not only a mechanical subject, you can get the notebooks for all CSC, AIML, data science, triple E, ECE, civil. For all the students, you can get this notebooks. Okay. So, for your understanding, I'm taking one of an example called as thermal engineering. Okay. So if you're taking a subscription, you'll be receiving a mail something like this from Easy Learnings. Okay. You can see like something called Notebook LM. So if you can come here you'll be having a link of your subject. So it will be your branch, your branch code, semester, and subject name. Let's try to click that here. Okay. Now, by this time, you can see a prompt something like this. You can see a notebook something like this. Okay. Now, here we'll be having three sections. Those are called as sources, a chat box, and a studio. When you are coming to the sources, here you can see all your questions for this particular subject. Now, for example, if thermal engineering is there, all these are the questions in the thermal engineering. So no need to, it is very easy to identify. So the question numbers will also be 1.01. It means this is the first question in unit 1, 1.02. This is the second question in unit 1, 2.03. It is like third question in unit 2. Like that, you'll be having all these questions from various units. And this was completely prepared from your curriculum, from your subject curriculum. Okay. Now let's say, and these questions were also taken from the previous papers as well. Now let's say, now for example, there is a student, okay, who want to start preparing for his or her semester exams. Now he want to check, he want to study the first question, like what are auto, diesel, and dual cycles, and how do they compare with the other power. When he's trying to click here, now come to something called a studio. First, come to the studio section. So here you can have an audio. Okay, water, auto, diesel, and dual cycles. You can hear this audio. Okay, in this way, you can listen the audio. By listening this audio, you can easily get some 40 to 50% of that subject. And the most extra advantage of using this one is this will be in our local Telugu language itself. It's not like a complete Telugu. So you'll be having the script in the Telugu. It's like a friend to friend language, how you'll be communicating with your friend. In the same language, you'll be having this one. Okay. So our first suggestion is to view the podcast. Okay. Go through the podcast. So you can take this, you can close your eyes and just listen. This will be very easily understandable language. You can understand very clearly about that question. Once this was completed, it is suggested to ask to get some knowledge about this question. If you see here, so this will explain you what are the various things that will be present. So what are the 8 standard cycles? So how you can write this in the exam, the analysis, okay, and the overview of the 3 major cycles. So in this way, you can get like a text format. This will be helpful for you while writing your exam. Okay, and other advantage is within this question. Now, for example, if you are reading, you can tell me, but I'll be reading a PDF. What is the difference from this to there? If you're having a PDF, you can just read the answer, but in that answer, if you are having any doubts, it is very tough. You need to go to some other platform to get the answer. But here there is nothing required. Now, for example, you can ask directly that here itself. Now, for example, you don't know what is meant by auto cycle, let's say. You can ask why it is called as. Okay, it will explain, if you're not able to understand any terminology also, it will help you to clearly explain that one with all the formulas, definitions, everything in this will be giving. Okay. Now you'll be getting, after reading this one, you'll be getting some 20 to some 10 to 15, some 20% about an idea about this question. Okay. Now you are good with this. Now, along with this, you'll be having a mind map. Okay. So this mind map will be helpful for you to quickly identify what are the topics are there in this question. Now, for example, in our local language, we'll be calling as subheadings, right? What are the major parts we'll be having in a question? Like in this one, you'll be having some 4 areas like foundation, auto cycle, diesel cycle, dual cycle, comparison with other cycles. You can click to any other section. So here you'll be having the model, the process, thermal efficiency and limitations. In the same way, for the diesel cycles also will be having the same things like model, process, key ratio, and the thermal efficiency. You can go to other section like the model is for compression, ICI engine, something like this. So in this way, these are called the mind maps. Okay, where you can, which will be very helpful during your last 1 hour, 2 hours revision. You can come here, you can check the question. It will be very helpful for your revision because this will rather than reading a complete text, you can see them in a mind map section, and there you can see how we can work. So you can grasp the knowledge very easily and quickly. Okay, fine. More and other thing, I said something called as quiz. let's say now you are having some good understanding about your question. Okay. Now you want to test your knowledge. Now, let's say you want to test your knowledge. So you can do, for example, you can go here. Okay. Here you can select the questions, according to the source, why the cycle is identified, theoretical cycle. So you can give any of the answer here. So if it is wrong, it will tell why it is wrong and what is the right answer. And if you click on that, you can directly go to that particular answer as well. Okay, for example, I choose something called Ericsson cycle engine, but the answer is correct. Can you help me understand why it is incorrect? So it will tell you why you are wrong, at which particular point you are wrong. Like that, you can, this particular, all the features which I said will be there for the all the questions. And this is completely from your JNTUK syllabus and their prescribed textbooks itself. So it is not anything from an Wikipedia or an internet knowledge. This is completely given from your JNTUK syllabus. Okay. Hope you understood how to use our notebook in this way. And one major thing is when you're trying to learn a question, it's better to click on that particular question itself. So when you're trying to click from here, this will give from this particular source. So now, for example, when you're planning to read for second unit first question, you can click on that particular text and then you can ask whatever the thing, whatever the doubts you're having in that question, you can take an idea of that. Okay. Thanks for listening.